Typical requirements. I want you to look at this line, change drill down navigation, and give me a sample requirement, functional or business, any will do. Give me a sample requirement, which basically means developer has to change a drill down. So give me a requirement. For example, if user says, when they click on this hyperlink on the agreement name field, this agreement name field, click on this, it should take them to the agreement entitled view. This is the typical requirement for any kind of drill. This, if someone says, when I click on this hyperlink, it should take me to another view. You know that's a drill down change kind of requirement. Okay, so it will be easy. Typically for this requirement, you need to know which field should be converted into the drill down, this field, and which view, what is the target view, and what is the which field. Other thing is, let's say they say, this is why I'm doing this thing. Let's say they say, for all the records which are active, agreements which are active, when they click on the drill down, it should go take there. For all the agreements which are inactive, and then they do the drill down, it should take somewhere else to some other view. Is that possible in Civil? Answer is no. Conditional drill down is not possible in Civil. Don't worry, when you are actually gathering requirements, you gather the requirements, you'll get a chance. If you're able to understand what they want, what I said now, that means you will understand what they want. Then you will get a chance to ask me this question, or ask someone else this question, or do your own research using all those 8 tools I told you, Civil IT Toolbox and all that stuff. And at that point you can make a decision. Okay. Point is not being able to make a decision. Point is being able to understand when you are given these new things. Okay. Anyway, this is the drill down requirement. I want you to look at these things, and tell me a sample requirement which would translate to changing drill down or changing the thing that is there listed there. Okay. For the requirement should, for example, let's say they say that when they are looking at when they are working on a customer account, they should be able to easily look at his assets, his activities, his this thing, so you need to start thinking in terms of whether you can provide this field, like some field can be converted into a drill down. One of the important things is, for example, you should not make that the site field as a drill down. If you make site field, and you should not say that if site field, when they drill down on the site field, you don't want it to go to agreement screen or account agreements, because it's not intuitive. Drill down should be intuitive also. Making sense? Yeah. So account name takes you to account activities out of the box, but you can change this. This is an easily changeable thing. It's a configuration option. Typically they'll say we want to go to account opportunities or account contacts. This is a kind of a drill down change. Okay.
Oh. Navigation is also included in this. Navigation, like.
What are the typical navigational options in Civil? These are the ones. ये तो एक है. They can click on screen and then view, and then they can navigate to that view.
Yeah.
Second way is second option is they can drill down. This is one navigation option. Someone says, I want to be able to go to account agreement view right from here. You should think one way is obviously they can click on the view. Second thing is we can provide them a drill down right here. Third thing is we can provide them right click option. This is also one of the things available in Civil. Okay. Other things are history. They can navigate to something, although it is not this kind of navigation. It is only if they have already gone there before. Another thing is if they find something, it takes them to some other view. Other thing is we can provide them a button here. They click on this. Not a good option, but we can. You will say, क्यों नहीं provide करते? Mercedes के ऊपर button बना देते हैं. Anyway, so these are some of the things. I don't want you guys to understand the design parameter or navigation options in depth. This is not the goal. The goal is to just understand at a high level. There is a requirement. This is what it translates to. You have been learning about functionalities, you have been learning about things. I want you to think in terms of requirement, functionality, requirement. Okay. give me a sample requirement where you need to extend the database and store new fields. To satisfy that requirement, this is the change that you need in the application. You means you will ask for it and developer will do it. That's not the point. But I want you guys to give me a requirement. For example, let's say they say that they need a social security field.
Yeah.
For every contact, that field is not there in SQL. There is a chance that BC has that field in out of the box also, and in that case we just have to expose it in the GUI. But still, yeah, in that case you go to tools and check. If it's not there, obviously then it has to be created from scratch. Okay. Display new fields in SQL views. There are many fields which are available in business component, but they are not displayed in the GUI. They are not exposed. There are not, you need to go to SQL tools and see all those fields. Yeah. Typically, when you go to the project, there will be like 10 entities that you will be dealing with. You won't be dealing with all the business components, only those 10 entities. You can go there and study one of these days just like that for fun.
Create new list and forms.
Create new list and forms. Give me a sample requirement which would mean that you have to create new lists and forms. Again, I don't want to get into the list and form. You guys know what requirement? Functionality. Functionality is you need to provide a new list and form. But why would you need such a new list and form? Can you give me an example? For example, users say we want some functionality. Contacts are all over there. Many a time you have to. I'm just trying. Basically, any new entity. Let's say they say, but sometimes it may be entity is same, but they just want a different list. For example, they might say we just want open CRs. You say you can use the PDQ for that. They say why are you showing the old CSRs, service requests? In that case, obviously you can go for a new list. Create entities to manage your business.
Exactly, the same thing.
Same thing. New entities could be needed.
Yeah.
Create pick lists to control field values. You might have to create new pick list. For example, they say that when someone is entering an order, he can enter account and contact. Let's say he can enter the parent opportunity as well. That's what they want. You will create a field and that will be having a pick list with it. Change list and column names. This is a simple thing. Sometimes there's a many time a requirement that account should not be called as client. That way the name has to be changed. They might say site should not be called as site. It should be called as location. And then that has to be changed. Okay, na? These are all common things.